My manager tried to fire me for helping a homeless man. It would become the biggest regret of his life. I was 16 years old working concessions in the parking lot of a dinner show. I was selling candy, soda, and beer. I stood out front and tried to sell to whoever would listen. My manager had it out for me since day one when the owner happened to interview me for the job and didn't tell the manager until after he hired me. So I was doomed from the get-go. My manager was targeting me hard and loved coming out with his notepad and his pen. The rule was 5 write-ups and you're fired. At first, I was just happy to have a job because my mom had gotten really sick and couldn't work. It was all on me to care for my mom right now. My dumb dad was a deadbeat that we hadn't heard from in over 2 years, so I had to step up. The first write-up came when I had the Raisinets way too close to the Twizzlers. I had done this on purpose because I was trying to make my display look diverse. My manager saw it and said, "That's not the correct display protocol. You'll be written up." The second write-up came when I had put one of the beers too close to the Mountain Dew, and he said, "You're misrepresenting what we sell and being deceptive, along with looking like you're trying to sell beer to a minor that just wants soda." That one amazed me. What a stretch. Anytime I would try and nicely plead my case, he would just put his hand up in my face, shut me down, and walk away. The third write-up happened when I went to the bathroom, and when I came back, my coworker who was covering for me had left part of the cash drawer open. My manager saw it and said, "You left part of the drawer open before you excused yourself. That's a theft liability." "Sir, I didn't leave it open." He cut me off. "Whether it was you or not, it happened under your watch, and you need to learn how to take responsibility for your lack of leadership." I was starting to get really stressed out. I would stand out there for a 6-hour shift and would be terrified to use the bathroom in case something happened while I was gone. The ironic part is, I was really good at selling. I sold the most candy by far because I was very vocal and started up fun conversations with the customers. Every time my manager would see me laughing and chatting, he started to get annoyed and would write something down in his weird little notebook. He would say, "I know you think you're creating an enjoyable experience for the customers by being loud and obnoxious. You're not." I responded, "Well, whatever I'm saying to them is working since I'm selling the most." He sharply said, "You're getting lucky." I was getting more and more freaked out because it wasn't easy to find a job these days. I tried talking to my manager to get him to ease up, and I said, "Sir, is there anything that I can do better to make your job easier?" He said, "Yes, you can stop getting written up and acting like a hotshot." When he was watching me, I sold less because I got fearful that he was judging me. When he wasn't around, I sold way more because I was myself, and I was able to connect with the customers freely. The fourth write-up happened because I was taking a picture for some newlyweds, and I stepped 2 feet away from my cart. He said, "You risked letting someone get into your drawer or steal the Milky Way bars by being that far from your cart." I was panicked, horrified. I needed this job badly. Then the fifth and final write-up changed everything. A homeless man approached my cart on a scorching hot summer day and begged me for some water. I saw my manager standing nearby, just waiting for any excuse to hand me the final write-up and get rid of me. This homeless man was literally on the verge of death, so I gave him a water bottle and then paid for it out of my own money. My manager saw me do it, and I didn't care at that point. The homeless man drank and cried with relief. My manager approached me with a smug look and said, "This is your final write-up. You stole from our merchandise and endangered the other customers with potential disease by letting this vile person stay here. You are fired." He said it with so much joy. The homeless man witnessed everything, and to my surprise, he pulled out a cell phone and made a call. 20 minutes later, as I was packing up my stuff, the owner arrived and pulled me and the manager into a private room and said to my manager, "That homeless man was a plant by HR to see how you treated him. The very fact that you would fire an employee for being kind and using his own money shows what kind of a dickhead you really are. And I've looked into your other write-ups. They're completely insane. You're fired." Then he looked at me and said, "You'll be taking over his job, effective immediately." The manager's face dropped. His whole life came crashing down around him. The turd. A few weeks later, the owner told me that the old manager was trying desperately to get his younger sister my job. That's why he was trying so hard to get me out.